The United States is on the brink of its first government shutdown in nearly 7 years. This is in the aftermath of a bitter standoff in Washington over health care and spending. Large parts of the federal government will be forced to suspend operations unless lawmakers strike a deal before midnight. President Trump and his Democratic opponents made little progress at a White House meeting towards undoing prospects of a shutdown. Both sides say the other will be at fault if Congress fails to extend government funding beyond the Tuesday deadline. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance slammed the Democrats, blaming them for placing conditions on support for a short-term budget bill, which could potentially push the U.S. to a shutdown in less than 36 hours.
Very frank conversation with the Senate and House Democratic leadership. Look, the principle at stake here is very simple. We have disagreements about tax policy, but you don't shut the government down. We have disagreements about health care policy, but you don't shut the government down. You don't use your policy disagreements as leverage to not pay our troops, to not have essential services of government actually function.
Meanwhile, President Trump has said that many federal workers may be laid off if the U.S. government shuts down.
President, if there is a shutdown, how many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we may do a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats. And as you know, they want to be able to take care of people that have come into our country illegally, and no system can handle that. And so we're totally opposed on that. But we can't take it. We just can't do it. I'd love to do everybody. I'd love to do the whole world. But our country can't handle people that come into our country illegally, and they want to give them full health care benefits.
The clash, in fact, reflects deeper divisions between the two parties. While Democrats see the midnight deadline as leverage to protect Affordable Care Act tax credits and curb Medicaid cuts, Republicans argue Democrats are holding the public hostage for political gain and insist that health and government funding must be dealt with as separate issues. If both sides fail to meet a consensus, many government agencies face the risk of shutting down until Congress approves additional funding. Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of workers have already been either suspended or asked to work without pay. Apart from political implications, the move has a significant impact on world markets. With the dollar and equities slipping and gold hitting another record high, the last government shutdown took place back in 2018 during President Trump's first term. 3 government shutdowns happened during Trump's first term itself. According to the Congressional Research Service, there have been 14 shutdowns since 1981, many lasting only a day or two. One shutdown took place between December 1995 to January 1996 due to a funding gap. That one lasted over 20 days. The most recent one lasted 35 days between December 2018 and January 2019 during Trump's first term in office due to a dispute between the president and Congress over border security. This is also reportedly the longest shutdown that the U.S. ever faced. What stands out in the current standoff is the position of the Trump team, which appears bent on shuttering large parts of the U.S. government for an extended period. Officials have threatened to use a shutdown to identify non-essential workers who could then be permanently let go. During Trump 2.0, the administration has slashed spending and pushed workers out of their jobs, and now a shutdown is feared to only accelerate this process further. We earlier spoke to Professor Andrew Latham. He's a distinguished scholar of international relations, strategic studies, and political economy, and this is what he told us.
The more likely scenario is, well, either a very, very last-minute continuing resolution, or there will be a short shutdown measured in days, not weeks or months, and then there'll be another continuing resolution. Neither side has, beyond the theatrics, neither side has an interest in a long-term shutdown. So that's the way it's shaken out in the past, in the recent past, and that's the way it's likely to shake out this time.